You with the blackguards? I already told you, fetchers, that I'm not interested in joining your little band of merry murderers. I'm just camping up here for a few days, and then I'll be on my way. Oh, right then. I'm just a little bit tense is all. So far, all the blackguards have done is make vague threats, but I know their reputation. They're as rotten as the prison they all live in. Black Rose Prison? Don't know much, I'm afraid. Used to be owned by the Imperials. Named after an old city nearby, I believe, though I'm sure that's in ruins too. As you can tell, it's no longer operational. Now it just houses the blackguards. Because the blackguard founders were former Naga inmates. This was decades ago, of course. I'm sure all the original members have died off by now. Drakey the Unchained leads them now. He accepts everyone. The original blackguards would only accept Argonians into their ranks, but when Drakey took over, that all changed. Now they accept anyone, no matter their race. They even tried to recruit me, a dark elf.
Box on dishonor. Kishi's life matters more than stupid traditions.
Kishi chose to save us. Outsiders will only make things worse.
Come, Dapasa. Biel has made her decision.
I spit that tradition and the cowardice it breeds. The Deadwater tribe, I mean, we almost died during our trial of ascension. We would have too, except Kishi interfered and saved us. Now, by the laws of the Nagakor, the Deadwater tribe, Kishi has been sentenced to death. He should not have helped us, but I'm glad he did. The elders stand by our traditions, even as the tribe sinks into quicksand. They refuse to reach out for any aid that isn't prescribed by the Tree Minder or the Kadiler. Perhaps you could help Kishi. As an outsider, you aren't bound by our laws. Find Kishi's father, Boki. Tell him you want to help. He will know how to best utilize an outsider in this matter. Be mindful of Mewa Jez, though. She seized Kishi because he interfered. Oh, my spines quiver just imagining her reaction to an outsider. The path of the lily is sacred to our people. Hatchlings ascend to the rank of warrior by walking the path, ready to defend the tribe and survive the terrors of the swamp. Failure means death and a return to the Hist. Kishi interrupted that fate. I attempt to speak plainly. As Mewajez teaches, the swamp doesn't provide second chances, so why should we? If warriors can't succeed on their own, they endanger us all. Still, I am grateful I am alive to explain this. Kishi made that possible. Mewajez is our tribe's Kadiles, our war teacher. She trains our novices to walk the path of the lily. Since she took over the responsibility, the Deadwater warriors have become stronger and more powerful. At least the ones that survive. The path of the lily claims more lives than ever before. Kishi and his egg siblings were the last novices to complete the trial without injury, let alone death. More often now, entire clutches of novices fall to the dangers encountered on the path. Everything changes. The path, the Kadilith, training changes too, and expectations. Now novices die more quickly than new eggs can be hatched. Soon, the Deadwater tribe will simply be the Dead tribe. I think that's why Kishi dislikes Mewajez. I speculate now. Perhaps Kishi didn't want to see more novices perish due to lack of training. Or maybe his dislike of Mewajez got the better of him. Or it could have been temporary insanity. Regardless, he saved us, and I am grateful for that.
You enter the land of the Deadwater tribe, Ojel. The elders will not welcome you. Best if you not get involved.
Never been this close to a dry skin. You look weak and fragile. How do you survive when the plants in your land try to eat you?
You've caught me at a busy time.
My spines vibrate with building rage. The outsider that interrupts a warrior's training often finds a spear in their side. Be gone, Ojel scum!
Did you really defeat the Daedra Balreth blindfolded?
I grind my fangs. This is a desecration.
I narrow my eyes. I know what you seek. You and the blackguards both. Sojay and I hack and cleave and stab, yet more Ojels swim over our borders every day. All looking for the remnant of Argon. I must find it first. I will find it first. Consider. We killed many savages together. We will do so again. If the Hist thinks you are worthy of remnant secrets, you will survive. If not, so be it. I hunt blackguards. They skulk around our village, yanking up our grave stakes like salt daisies. I arch my brow ridge. Special. Yes. Our grave stakes do not just pin the dead to their resting place. Each tells a story, some as old as the tribe itself. Some of our greatest Rajkals even had the honor of using a Hist bow to make their stakes. Yes. All the more reason to hack these blackguards dead. Meet me in the swamp east of the village. Our quarry is there. Many unstaked bog blights also. Freed from their dead sleep by those thieving savages. Bare your fangs, Ojel. Time for war.
The dead hiss your name, Ojel. I hear it bubble up from the shallows. Here in the deep murk, you earn their favor, or you join them. I curl my lips. You demand a name without giving one. That is the Ogel way, isn't it? Take and take and take. I am grave singer Kiat, the Dead Water's keeper of death secrets and final words. Death comes in many forms and wears many masks. I tend to the bodies, staking them when I must, and harvesting them when I must. I read the grave stakes and sing the fallen warrior's final song. I nod my head, yes, grave stake, or Zulvat in the true tongue. Each tells the story of the corpse it pierces. You will learn soon enough.
This work isn't going to do itself. I'm busy, very busy.
Do you smell something unpleasant, Koska? Wamasupu smells better, and I speak true. Will it leave our village soon? I recoil in mock disgust. Ogel filth has no place in dead water. Go take a swim in a pool of quicksand, why don't you? You are an Ogel, not of the tribe, an outsider, and your presence angers me. Outsiders wear strange garb and behave like swamp-crazed crocodiles. You are an abomination before the Hist. Ah! You raise the spine of warning like a raw hatchling. But that's better than most outsiders. I still don't like you, though.
I would raise the spine of aggression at these contemptuous hatchlings, but I do not want to frighten them. They would run into the swamp and sink into the mud or get eaten by a predator. They are as fragile as the shells that spawned them.
I'll need help gathering all of the components. To honor change is to honor Sithis. All Saxleal know this, but sometimes it is forgotten. As Niswo, it lies upon my shoulders to remind them. Would you help me in this endeavor? I wish to create a monument dedicated to the forces of change and chaos. I will take that which time has broken and create it anew in the name of Sithis. That is where your aid comes in. You must travel to echoes of our past, Sophir Cavern, the Teeth of Sithis, and the Tomb of Many Spears. There you will gather pieces from our days of stone nests. When all is collected, then I shall create. The beauty of change is undeniable. The crumbling stone of our foolish past, the sky bleeding red above a setting sun, the bloated face of a corpse as the skin begins to decay. Ah, to gaze upon such wonder. Tell me this. What is painted upon a blank canvas? Precisely, and it is only because of that nothing that something can be made. First there is nothing, then there is something. Thus is the will of all things. Thus is the will of Sithis. Sithis is the nothing between the something, the void which created all and will one day destroy it. The will of change, the inconstant which is our only constant. My art honors this will. I destroy what was and create what will be. I belong to the clutch of Niswo, a fellowship of sorts. In the dry-skinned tongue, we would be called nothing speakers, for we speak the words of that which is void, though we do not all speak the same words, of course. Why would we? Sithis is a being of multitude. It is the will of change, the force of chaos, the lust for bloodshed. Its words are many, and so the Niswo are many. But we all speak parts of the larger truth. Perhaps an example will help. I honor Sithis through my art. I see the something within the nothing and create it. Through my actions, a lesson is learned. My mentor had a different approach. She would require offerings of blood. The greater the offering, the greater the honor. Some would sacrifice a scale or a fang, freshly plucked and bloodied. Others would offer fingers or the tips of their tails. One follower offered his heart. He died, of course. One must simply be accepted as a Vovaste, an apprentice in the dry-skinned tongue. I journeyed with my mentor for many seasons before she bestowed the title of Niswo upon me. Then I journeyed alone, spreading the dark word to many tribes. I speak but one truth. Through many seasons, this village will hear many words. It is from these many words that they will create their own truth. And though these truths will be different, they will all be, in the end, true. The Saxhleel do not require ease in our beliefs. We do not write words upon a page and request our followers to speak its unmoving words. Belief should be questioned, doubted, judged, and finally accepted. Only then is it truth. Sithis is a being of multitude. It is the will.
Find a different patch of shade, Ogel. I state the obvious. You are Ogel, not of our tribe. Coming here makes you either very brave or very foolish, but it has nothing to do with me. I display my fangs in warning. Now leave me to my thoughts. Kishi is always in trouble, but never has the mud risen so high. He disobeyed tradition, tribal laws, and my direct orders when he decided to interfere in the rites of ascension. Now the Rajkal has sentenced spawn of my eggs to death. I grind my fangs in frustration. I tried to talk to the Rajkal, the war chief, but he doesn't want to hear the truth. The Deadwater only care about strength and death, and they plan to follow that path to the bitter end. This book should have been destroyed ages ago. Kishi hid it here. He wants me to remember who I was, but I am no longer the Kardilith. The tribe has sentenced Kishi to death. I will stand at my son's side and die with him. You would risk life and limb for a stranger. Kishi believes that outsiders aren't intrinsically bad. So, I accept his opinion, and thank you for your help. Kishi was taken to the ruins at the north end of the village. Save him, and send him away. I exposed the spine of regret. Once the Deadwater tribe was as numerous as the fish in the streams. Now, we send our dwindling number of hatchlings to die upon the path of the lily. It curls my scales. The ruins remind us of more prosperous seasons. The ruins serve as a perfect killing field, which is what will happen to Kishi if you continue to stand here and ask me questions. If you really want to help, save my egg son and then tell him to leave the village and never return. There is no place in the village for someone sentenced to die. Kishi must flee and go far away, or our warriors will be forced to kill him. As for me, I need to consider his words and decide what to do with my old training manual. I served as the tribe's war teacher before I was replaced. That old book contains my training methods, techniques that worked well until they didn't. When Mewajez changed everything, novices started to die. But tell me, why do you care? The Ogel sees the truth, even through the fog of our traditions. The laws of the Deadwater refuse to bend, but in a powerful wind, the tall, straight tree either weathers the storm or breaks apart. Perhaps with your help, the tribe can learn to bend.
Keeping myself busy here.
Come and feast, creature. May you break your teeth upon my scales. Outsider. Here, Ogel, help me get loose from these bonds. I proclaim my gratitude. Let's go over there so we can talk. The season turns strange. First, I break the laws of the tribe to save lives. Now an outsider appears out of nowhere to rescue me from certain death. You have my thanks and my respect. Unless you seek a reward, then I respect you less. My egg sire, how unexpected. When last we talked, he urged me not to oppose the Cadilith, but I refuse to let the dead water become nothing but a memory. Unlike Boki, I have drunk from the river of courage and refuse to turn away from my tribe. Mewajez, the war teacher, instructs our novices, trains them to walk the path of the lily. Her methods, instead of making us strong, they lead to nothing but death. I speak true. My clutch was the last to make it through the rite unscathed. Boki was our war teacher until one mistake led to his disgrace. Now Mewajez trains the novices. In 6 seasons, she has lost every clutch that walked the path, blaming them for being too weak. If this continues, the tribe cannot survive. Tell Boki that you saved me. Tell him that I will find a way to save our tribe.
Say your words, Mewajez, and then leave me to my grief.
Kishi rejected our laws because of your obsolete ideas, Boki. Let this end with your egg son's death. Grieve as you will, but do not think to oppose me, old one. That is a battle you cannot win.
The outsider returns, just in time to see the disgrace that clings to me like the mist that rises from the swamp. But what of my egg son? Does Kishi still live? I thank the Hist that Kishi lives. But he risks everything to swim against the currents of our traditions. I must find the same courage as my egg son and do what is right. Otherwise, the tribe will slowly fade away. The Nagakur, who you call the Dead Water, we are warriors. Death is a part of who we are. In the past, our hatchlings grew to be novices who walked the path and became warriors. Death was present, but it never claimed all our young. Until now. One war teacher was replaced by another. Techniques were altered. Different virtues were emphasized. Under Mewajez's tutelage, novices fail the test over and over. She pushes them in one direction and blames them as the tribe slowly dies out. Find Kishi. He plans to show our war chief that there is a better way to train the novices. In the back room, take the firestones. Use them to find my egg son's hidden camp in the swamp. Then help him carry out his plan. I patiently attempt to explain. Go into the swamp and look for the tamed vine tongues. These plants appear different from the more hostile varieties. Toss firestones at the plants, and they will lead you to Kishi's hidden camp. Mewajez insists that her training is not at fault. The novices are too weak, and that is why they fail. The war teacher proclaims that every challenge can be overcome by strength and strength alone. Hit harder, kill faster, never pause to think. Because strength is only one weapon in the warrior's arsenal. To ignore the others is to court doom, as our novices find out again and again. If not for Kishi's interference, the latest group would have died as well, and for this he is dishonored. the Deadwater tribe learns to fight. We have very little experience questioning orders or ignoring tradition. That is Kishi's greatest strength, and most apparent weakness. He questions everything. Help my egg son, and you will help our tribe.
Boki, come out and tell me where Kishi is.
I sigh at the inevitable. Find Kishi while I send Mewajez on a wild guar chase.
The war chief sentenced Kishi to death, Boki. Your egg son doesn't even have the good sense to die with honor.
I bare my fangs at this insult.
Rage all you want. When Kishi comes for you, we'll slap him in chains. Be gone, Ojel scum! The business of the Nagakur is no concern of yours. Leave this place before I set my warriors upon you! His favorite egg son escaped the rightful punishment bestowed upon him by the war chief. Whether Boki aided in his escape or not, this entire situation reeks of the old Naga's influence. Now we will use him to lure Kishi back here. I recoil at your ignorance, outsider. You know nothing of our traditions, of our sacred rites. You are barely better than the insects that flitter around the waste pits. Do not get involved, or you will suffer the same fate that awaits Kishi.
Do not linger like the sickly guar that waits for the crocodile to eat it. Hurry and do the thing we spoke about.
Speak, oh friend. Over here. Will you speak with me? Dry Skin. Didn't I see you talking with the explorers from Cyrodiilic Collections? Are you one of them? Would you be willing to help me with a crucial and sacred task? I have suffered shame for the actions of my ancestor. When the Imperial Ninth Legion marched into Murkmire, my distant relative agreed to serve as their scout. And ever since my egg family has carried the mark of traitors, I want to erase that mark. After my egg relative joined them, the Legion vanished. At long last, I believe I know where they disappeared to. Sophia Cavern. However, the cavern is rumored to be the home of the Wujuka. I can't face that monster on my own. Will you go with me? My egg siblings only care about the here and now. But I always believed that history was the key to exonerating our disgraced ancestor. I know we'll find something in the cavern. I just know it. as long as the Wujuka doesn't object to our presence. There have always been dark legends surrounding the Sophia Caverns, stories about a monster called the Wujuka. It is some sort of powerful voroplasm, a massive pool of malignant slime that was said to periodically emerge and cause untold damage. Evidence that the Ninth Legion visited the cavern before it disappeared. Maybe even signs that the Imperials entered Sophia and never emerged. If we could locate something that explains why my ancestor agreed to help them, that would be moist. The Sophia Caverns were sealed by a rock slide in the distant past. Recent tremors, however, have opened a path into the caves. I also learned that tribal elders once performed rituals to bind the Wujuka inside, but that was a long time ago. Gin Rajul was a renowned scout, well respected before the Imperials convinced him to help them. I'm certain they must have forced him, threatened him in some way. No spawn of our eggs could have been a traitor, and with your help, I'll prove it. Many seasons ago, when the Imperials first sent troops to our beloved swamps, the Ninth Legion terrorized the region. It marched from one end of Murkmire to the other, inflicting death and destruction along the way. Then they simply vanished. I've gathered every song and story I could find that even mentioned the Lost Legion. After many seasons of travel and study, an obscure line in a ballad sung by an elder of the Girusliel tribe led me to Sophia. My burden lightens with every step. That proves it. My ancestor and the Ninth Legion did visit this cave. Let's keep looking around. Proof that the Ninth Legion and my ancestor explored these caves.
Let me see that. This is a 9th Legion officer's journal. It mentions my ancestor, Yin Rajul, and how the Legionnaires started disappearing. It had to be the Wujuka. It must have devoured the Imperials. Another note. What happened to the Legion becomes clearer and clearer. Another note. It talks about the altar where the elders prepared the ritual to bind the Wujuka. I think my ancestor led the Imperials into this cavern and fed them to the Wujuka. He saved our tribe, but made the Voraplasm more powerful. And to think no one has seen this place in more than 100 seasons. That's a ritual dagger. Probably the one used by the elders to perform the binding ritual. Now we need to find the altar.
As long as the cavern was sealed, the Wujuka was trapped. It couldn't spread across Murkmire. But now that the caves are open, there's no one else, my friend. We need to find the altar and perform the ritual to bind it to this cavern. I tried to learn as much as I could when I came across the stories of the Wujuka. I'm no expert, but with the dagger we found, I can replicate the ritual. I think. Let's... That's the altar the elders used to prepare the rite of binding. I think I can... From what we learned, my ancestor only pretended to help the Legion. He led them here to save Murkmire. When the Legionnaires sealed the cave, they interrupted the cycle. No one has come to bind the Wujuka in centuries. I guess it's up to us. I will prepare the dagger and the sacred altar, according to the stories the elders told me. In the meantime, I need you to weaken the Wujuka. Only then can we perform the ritual. The Wujuka is a massive pool of voroplasm that interacts with the world through extensions of itself. The smaller voroplasms that prowl these caverns are all just part of a greater whole. According to the stories, the Wujuka creates an extension of itself to guard the pool. Find this large voroplasm guardian and destroy it. That should weaken the Wujuka and make it more susceptible to the binding ritual. The Wujuka isn't like other voroplasms. It has an intelligence and a hunger different from the simple creatures seen in the swamp. Once it emerges from the cavern, it will spread and consume all of Murkmire. We can't allow that to happen. Majai Wija Bikakai. Quickly now, ignite the brazier. The rite of binding is complete. Meet me outside and we can talk. The journal and letters we found prove that the Lost Legion met its doom in Sophia Cavern. They also reveal that my ancestor led them there in order to protect Murkmire. And more importantly, we use the rite of binding to trap the Wujuka. For seasons and seasons, my friend. And I shall inform the elders of the nearest tribes. They will once again take up the responsibility of maintaining the ritual. I couldn't have accomplished any of these things without your help. Thank you. I do. He knew the tribes weren't strong enough to oppose the 9th Legion. So he sacrificed his own life to lead them to the Wujuka. I feel very proud to be part of his egg family, my friend. Not only will this evidence restore the honor of my egg family, our actions have helped save all of Murkmire. And I couldn't have done any of this without you. Please, accept this small gift as a token of my appreciation. I can't wait to tell my egg siblings all about our ancestor. They're going to be so proud. The binding will hold for a while. In the meantime, I'll talk to the elders of the nearby tribes and make sure they restore the traditions of the past. As long as the elders periodically perform the rite of binding, the Wujuka will remain contained. Oh, most assuredly. I might even talk to Cyrodiilic collections. Since my people have little use for history, maybe the outsiders can teach me a few things. Anyway, may the rivers always flow in your direction, my friend. Impressive. You navigate the swamp like a true warrior of the dead water. Didn't I say so, Kishi? There's something special about this outsider. I raise the spine of gratitude. Thank the Hiss that you came along and agreed to save Kishi. The swamp would be a darker place if he had been devoured by a hungry predator. Boki's firestones. I suppose he told you how to find my camp. I stare in wonder. The aid you provided. I must ask why the outsider is here. Mewachez is a pox upon our tribe. I need to find a way to convince the war chief that Boki's training techniques are not only sound, but represent the best way to save the Deadwater. To accomplish this, I'll need your help, if you're willing. Help me show the war chief that the old ways truly are the best. Specifically, the methods Boki once used to train our novices. I'm proof that Boki's techniques of using wits and strategy are more effective than simply relying on brute strength. And a daring plan it is. I will mentor you, use Boki's techniques to guide you through the path of the lily. When an outsider succeeds where Deadwater novices failed, it will prove that Mewachez is wrong. Can I count on you, outsider? We must return to my village and go to the war chief's pavilion. Only Rajkal Silan can grant an outsider permission to walk the path of the lily. Just choose your words carefully. The war chief's ego bruises easily, and he's quick to anger. My egg-sire resigned his position after the unfortunate events surrounding the rite of passage some 7 seasons ago. One of Boki's students, a young Naga named Chukala, considered himself to be better than the others, and better than his training. ignored Boki's lessons and charged onto the path of the lily like a Wamasu in the hatchery. He boasted that warriors needed only their strength to win the day, not clever tricks and careful observation. Unfortunately, they succeeded. No, but Chukala challenged Boki, said he was weak and unfit to teach warriors. They fought, and the commotion attracted the predators that prowled the path. Chukala and the novices were killed. Boki was injured. He resigned in shame after that. She demanded the war chief give her the position. You see, Chukala was her egg brother. She wanted to honor his memory by teaching novices the things Chukala believed. Those instructions killed many novices before I intervened. Rajkal Silan is as wise as he is cautious. He sees the problem even if tradition and decorum tie his hands and keep him from acting. If we can provide him with a clear and viable option, I believe he will jump at the chance to grab it. No, it doesn't. He may even order his warriors to strike us down for simply suggesting the idea. But the war chief respects Boki. I have to believe he will give us a chance. For Boki's sake, if not for the welfare of the tribe.
My hatchling lives because of you. I tell all I see, so your legend will grow in the Hist.
The outsider dares approach this sacred pavilion.
Lower your spines, Kadilith. It is the rare outsider that dares approach the Nagakor.
I mentor the outsider. We ask to walk the path of the lily.
Blasphemy! Kill them all!
Hold! I will hear what Kishi and the outsider have to say. Boki says the Nagakor are doomed. Kishi claims our war teacher is to blame. What do you say, outsider? Why have you come to the village of the Deadwater? I shake my head in disbelief. Why is it that everything connected to Boki and his egg son reeks of broken laws and forsaken traditions? Do you truly believe you can succeed where the best of our young warriors have failed? It will prove something. On that we agree. Very well. Walk the path. Kishi will accompany you as your mentor. Return with the sacred lily, and I will listen to Kishi's plea. If you fail and die, Boki will be executed, and our traditions will stand. Mewajez, prepare the path. The outsider will undergo the same rite as our novices.
War Chief, no! You cannot allow Kishi to disrespect our cherished customs.
Do as I command, War Teacher. I want to see how the Ogel fares.
This will work, Boki. You'll see.
The old ways killed my egg brother, and they will kill you as well, Ogel scum. I look forward to watching as the path consumes you.
Are you ready, friend outsider? We shall walk the path as mentor and novice. Then we will prove Mewajez wrong.
The path of the lily requires both brains and brawn. Listen to Kishi. Show my people that there is a better way.
This is about saving our people, Mewaches.
Through weakness and trickery, you dishonor our tribe and my egg brother's memory. No matter. If my novices cannot succeed, your outsider has no chance. No chance at all. Talk to your mentor, Ogel scum. The sooner you step upon the path, the sooner you die.
Mewaches' novices fail because they attempt to use brute force to complete the rite of passage. Listen to my words, and we will succeed where they have failed. Trust me, as I trust you. The first part of the path involves the trial of movement. You must find a way to get past one of the largest, deepest pools of quicksand in all of Murkmire. Remember the vine tongues? The plants are the key to navigating this hazard. Boki accompanied his novices, so I will accompany you. I cannot interfere in your trials, only offer advice. But you can use me as a tool, directing me to provide minor aid at times. For example, my arrows can be used to attract the vine tongues. Yes, with the ultimate goal of reaching the signal totem and igniting it to show that you have completed the first challenge. Take this arrow and point it whenever you want me to use my bow. Are you ready to begin? Point the arrow I gave you, and I'll take care of the rest. So far, so good. Now let me tell you about the next section of the path. You picked the proper path through the quicksand. Well done. Dangerous plants and carnivorous beasts fill the next section of the path. They will do their best to end your trial with every step you take. Remember that I am a weapon in your arsenal. Use the arrow I gave you to direct me against the dangerous plants as you see fit. There will be 2 signal totems to ignite along this section of the path. No, Mewaches considers Boki's techniques to be obsolete. A war teacher who helps her novices only enables their weaknesses. She prefers to instruct from a distance and let her charges succeed or fail on their own. Proceed with care, my friend. finished the second trial. Let's find a safe spot to speak. This spot is good. Let's talk. You have done exceptionally well, friend outsider. I think we may actually succeed and reach the sacred lily. Overconfidence can fell even the mightiest warrior, though. The final challenge awaits us. Do not let your guard down. De Rosa guards the sacred lily. He is powerful and hard to kill, but he isn't invincible. Here, take this sack of firestones. Use them and your wits, and I'm sure you'll survive. You can do this. I have faith in you. De Rosa is an Argonian behemoth, created by our Hist to protect the sacred lily and test the mettle of our novice warriors. Know that the creature has tasted the blood of many novices. They will not fall easily, I am sorry to say. We walk the path of the lily. And with that, I'll light the final signal totem. Let's return to the village and present the sacred lily to the war chief. Oh, you did well, friend outsider. You are the first outsider to walk the path of the lily. Moreover, you are the first novice to succeed and not die since Boki resigned his position as war teacher. Thank you for doing this, friend outsider. We will meet back in the village.
Where is the outsider, Kishi? Did the quicksand swallow them?
The outsider approaches now, bearing the sacred lily. You haven't seen one in a while, have you, Mewajez?
Step forward, outsider.
That is not possible!
My friend outsider will explain. I'm going to take Boki home now.
It makes no sense. No outsider should have been able to walk the path, let alone complete it using Boki's archaic techniques. A trick. It must be some sort of trick.
The sacred lily. It represents the hopes and dreams of the Nagakor, the Deadwater. It has been too many seasons since the last one was presented to me. And by an outsider, no less. I do not trust outsiders, but I respect strength. Kishi taught you well, and you have succeeded where so many of our novices have recently failed. I raise my spines in grudging admiration. I should never have accepted Boki's resignation. That was a mistake that has cost the Nagakor dearly. Kishi shall be our war teacher. If he could train an outsider to walk the path, think how our novices will fare. Mewajez trained the novices just as I asked her to. Any failure on her part is also a failure on mine. I shall ask her to assist Kishi and learn from him. Hopefully, their partnership will make us stronger. Now go, and tell Kishi what I have said. Kishi must start training the next season of novices immediately. It has been too long since strong, young warriors emerged from the path of the lily to take their place in the Deadwater tribe. Under Kishi and Mewajez's tutelage, we will prosper. I hesitate to contemplate that question. Boki warned me that the loss of so many novices would spell the end of the Nagakor. You showed us a better way. If Kishi succeeds, and the next season of Clutchmates survive, that will be enough for now.
I need to consider what happened here, Rajkal.
Your methods were a success. Sire, the outsider claimed the sacred lily.
I hear your words, Kishi, and my spine swell with pride. How did it feel to claim the sacred lily, Ojel? Did your scales quiver and your spines tingle in awe and wonder? I am grateful that you helped my egg son, and that you survived to prove my methods.
Few Naga live to be as old as Boki. Most of our warriors die early, but not my Exaya. He has used his wits and strength to overcome every challenge. His lessons helped me guide you through the path of the lily. I am honored and thankful that my plan worked. Now, I need to rebuild confidence in the young ones. Get the next season of hatchlings ready to walk the path. The Deadwater will always face adversity. I want to give them the tools to survive. The war chief is wise. 2 Kadiliths can impart more wisdom than one, provided Mewajez cooperates and agrees to work with me. Otherwise, we will clash like Boki and Chukala did. We can only wait and see. Thank you, friend outsider. For an Ojel, you made an excellent Nagakor warrior. Please, take this as a symbol of my appreciation. You have done a wonderful thing for me and my tribe.
We must have words.
I will not apologize for my actions, Mewages.
I seek none. You have done what I could not. Your novice survived and walked the path.
What are you saying, Mewages?
I am saying that you have my support. Teach, and I will learn.
Then together, we will make the dead water even stronger than before.
Outsiders, they still make my scales crawl. But you walked the path of the lily. You have shown both strength and honor. I shall do the same, and aid Kishi as best I can.
I owe you a debt, friend outsider. Know that you will always find aid with the Deadwater tribe. At least as long as I serve as our Kadilith.
I did not think I would live to see my name no longer disgraced. I know Kishi can teach our hatchlings, and our tribe will survive.
Here already. You are swift, Ojel. I will give you that. But enough flattery, I think. From now on, all is war talk. We seek the grave stakes of several Deadwater Carls, and vengeance. I know how we can claim both. The blackguards steal our fallen eggkin's grave stakes without regard for the stake's purpose. Now, the rivers choke on bog blights, dead and not dead things that eat Nagas whole. With cunning, we will see to it that they eat only blackguards. The blackguard savages build ponjis. This word means fumers, racks of oily, spoiled meat that keep the bog blights off their scent. As we recover the grave stakes, destroy the fumers. The dead not dead will find our enemies and do the rest. This time we attack as one. One serpent, two heads. A single spear ant means nothing, but a hive means death. A bog blight is nothing to us alone, but when they gather in great numbers, great danger. Great glory also for those who fight them. My egg brother Sojay fell to the bog blights. Do not be. It was a glorious battle. And he fights with me still, you see. For the Deadwater, death is certain. But death brings new life. As shield and bow, or axe and knife. In time, the soul moves on. Everything changes, but nothing ends. I curl my lips. Poetic. Another word for soft, I think. Soft words belong to bright throats like Sukas. Enough egg-gazing. We have work to do. Good. The bog blights will feast on this camp soon enough. These blackguards will pay a high price for challenging the Deadwater tribe. More pressing business? Fine. If you return to the hunting grounds, I will find you. Well done. Now travel north. We will raid their main encampment and finish this. Over here, Ojel. I know I spoke of fighting as one, but these two were too loud and foolish. Sojay and I had to kill them. Before they died, they spoke of the Remnant and the hissed Woodgrave stakes. One shouted at the other about a relic they could not find. The grave stake of a Chronokal, the great Deadwater war chief called Etra of the Many Spears. Few Deadwater warriors rival Etra. He is Wutum. You would say legend, I think. I blink my eyes. Maybe. Reading Azulvat is Gravesinger work. We cannot know until we claim the stake. You will have to fight him for it. All Deadwater Carls know Etra's resting place. Look west and follow the ridgeline. His tomb is there. My tail sinks. Etra is buried in the Tomb of Many Spears, an unclean place. Vahat, or taboo in the dry tongue. Sojay and I cannot fight there, but you can. If you can pry the stake away from Etra, bring it to the Gravesinger's lodge. I will reclaim your body and make a helm of your skull. You have earned that, at least. Why do you slump? Bristle your war spines. Etra was a legend, true. But what you fight is not Etra. It is the pieces not needed, bound together by slime and old-time magic. A beast to crush and cleave. Take your weapon and strike true. A call hath no tongue for stories, but I will do my best. The Nahish elders say that Etra had a soul older than the tribe. Even before he hatched, the egg handlers heard him chanting from inside his tiny shell. Blood, death, glory. I shake my head. A hero to us, not to you, I think. Etra rolled across the marsh like a thunderhead, felling great trees, slaying huge beasts, and eating the hearts of great warriors. Often, Etra would take his opponent's grave stakes as a trophy. He stored them in the great stone vault that eventually became his tomb. The place where you will face him. The tomb of many spears. One dark day, a great slime claimed the vault. When Etra learned of this, he grew furious and attacked. He did not. He died in glory. Many great Deadwater calls raided the tomb, seeking pieces of Etra. Bones or sinew to make mighty weapons. They all died. Now their corpses, and what remains of Etra's, stalk the tomb forever. Like I said, Vahat. I roll my eyes. If you do not hurry, I will end up telling the story of the slow-legged Ogel who lost the remnant of Argon. Go now. Be swift.
Novices take to the new training techniques like mud slugs to water. They show great aptitude at using both their wits and their weapons. We have a long way to go, but I have high hopes for the future of the Deadwater.
I bask in newfound understanding. Under Kishi's guidance, our warriors train to use all their skills, not just their strength and rage. I am learning much from Kishi. We all are.
So much to do.
Then, is it Etra's story on the gravestake? Or the Hist's?
Both, my Carl. What is our story, if not the story of the Hist?
I see them return. You destroyed Etra? Good. Let that victory rattle the roots. Gravesinger Kiat tells me what we seek is not in the gravestake symbols, but in the wood itself. I do not know how to read wood, but he says I must. I shake my head. It is a gravestake like the others. I do not even know what to look for. The symbols are worn. But wait. I see it. In the grain. In the whorls and knots. The remnant. It swims in the wood. I can almost touch it. Patience! There are words. In a garden in a maw of stone. Yes, that is all. I see nothing more. This is what we hunted for. A garden. I hiss fire. Why could it not be more simple? Chaos. There must be more. What do you know that we do not? What is us? The Bumbler, Famia, Zukas, the dry-scale Cassandra. A nest of weak spines in Ogel treachery. I will not. I am sorry. The Deadwater are a suspicious people. But you deserve my respect. And my trust. I will join you in Lilmuth.
I have no time for you. Leave me.
Lady Laurent demands restitution, you jackanapes!
Jackanapes? You must have me confused with an Argonian of another tribe. Keep your voice low, or you'll awaken every skeleton in the grove. What are you doing down here, by the way? Oh, the dry-skinned shrew. Her manservant has been bending my frill in a most unpleasant manner. Understand, I pointed her toward one possible location.
I never said she would definitely find a charm in that puddle of mud. Lied? Oh, not in so many words, no. I sold her hope, which she seemed to desperately need at the time. Look, if she really wants a renewal charm, I just so happen to have one. Would you like to make a trade? I must admit, you certainly present a more compelling argument than the manservant. Oh, very well. Take the charm, and tell Lady Laurent that she has gnawed away at the goodwill of many whispers. Keep your voice low. There are dangers nearby.
Lady Laurent awaits us at the Renewal Lodge. You leave the cave first. I'm much more stealthy when I'm on my own. Besides, I need another moment to recover. The thick air down here has left me rather peaked.
You're back. I suppose I need to ask, were you able to place the sacred candles in Sophir Cavern? So there were Imperial remains in the cavern. I suppose that will make Tia happy. From a historical perspective, of course. Not because there are dead Imperials. Anyway, here's your payment. If you're lucky, I'll have more work soon. You superstitious? Got work if you've got the guts for it.
Please, you must understand. We only seek the remnant to... there you are. Oh, thank Mara you're here. I haven't seen a gathering go this poorly since my sister Concordia's 7th birthday. Marinus put slugs in her pudding. I can still hear the screams. Whew. For the record, I did offer tea, but what's needed is answers. A location, clearly. But a location for what? I did some more research on the first riddle, the one about smoke and sap, remember? Well, after combing through a half-dozen dissertations, I'm pretty confident it's referring to a dream wallow. It's an Argonian religious practice, sort of. I've never witnessed one myself, but they typically involve a period of isolation and exposure to potent, mind-altering herbs. According to the text, a dream wallower can see things beyond the physical. Yes, now if we could wait. A garden in a maw of stone? Of course! That's gotta be the Swallowed Grove! The Rionwo! A dream wallow in the Swallowed Grove. What could be more exciting? We should discuss this with Cassandra right away.
A dream wallow in the Swallowed Grove. Fascinating. And timely. Very well done, both of you. Immediately. I hate to set out in such a hurry, as careless haste can be fatal in this profession. Unfortunately, we cannot afford to wait. Thank you for all you've done, my friend. The remnant of Argon is almost within our grasp. Just look at us. A bright-throat negotiator, a Deadwater Call, an alley tough Naga, 2 scholars and a hero. As unlikely a party as any I've seen before. I can only hope that discovering the remnant will tighten these bonds of fellowship. The grove is north of Alton Mirhalil, tucked away near a roaring waterfall if memory serves. I will make my personal ferry available to all here assembled. Join us, or walk if you prefer. I'd only ask that you avoid any unnecessary delays. Long years of bitter disappointment have trained me to measure my expectations. We will find something in the grove, I am certain of it. But this Dream Wallow business... The Hist will not make this easy. Not for you, and certainly not for me. Make whatever preparations you must, Famia. The time has come.
If we really do intend to participate in some kind of dream wallow, I'd stick close to Zukas and Jaxic Orn. I'm sure they'll be able to guide us through it. I'm curious about how it works, but honestly, I've never even had a glass of wine. Very little, I'm afraid. Sorry. According to B. Jeam's Murkmire Almanac, it's a subterranean jungle formed from some kind of sinkhole. Beyond that, it's pretty mysterious. There are mundane perils there, of course, but the real danger is magical. Reanimated dead. Not like the bog blights. Something else entirely. The locals think the place is guarded by dream spirits, but a reliable source told me it's definitely zombies. Or skeletons or something. So, caution, yes.
Jaxic Orn, daughter and call of the Deadwater tribe, will ride on a boat with a Luki or Cassandra. I shake my head. Yesterday, Sojay and I would have tried to kill all but one of you. The Hist makes fools of us all, I think. Each tribe walks the dream differently. In Deadwater Land, we paint our hands red, breathe in the sacred smoke, then face our Kaju dream beast. Yes. A Naga must triumph in combat, unassisted, against a sacred beast the chief chooses for you. I fought a swamp leviathan. I had to cut my way out of its stomach. Perhaps we will face a new beast today. I sharpen my claws. I shrug my shoulders. Members of the Deadwater tribe do not fear this place, but we do not go there. Spirits run free in the grove. Hard to kill, I think. We will find out. Nothing will stand between us and the remnant. Each tribe walks the dream differently. In Deadwater Land, we paint our hands red, breathe in the sacred smoke, then face our Kaju dream beast. Yes. A Naga must triumph in combat, unassisted, against a sacred beast the chief chooses for you. I fought a swamp leviathan. I had to cut my way out of its stomach. Perhaps we will face a new beast today. I sharpen my claws.
Cassandra moves quickly for someone who is usually so deliberate. What is the rush? That is what I ask. No, I am just not eager to throw myself into another dream wallow. They dry my eyes and make my belly hurt. Seeking the words of the Hist in the chimes is all well and good, but dream wallows are much more dimmick. Vivid is the dry-skin word? I try not to think on it, Biko. There was a Maxine Orto, a kind of river clam, you would say.
It challenged me to a game of riddles. The words all turned to orange mud. In the end, I feasted on him. It was very unsettling. I know it is a place that no Argonian in Murkmire would tread willingly. The tree-minders say dream beasts wander that place. Angry spirits that whisper burning secrets to anyone foolish enough to enter. I guess we are foolish enough. No, I am just not eager to throw myself into another dream wallow. They dry me. The Rion Woe. Many strange things stalk the Swallowed Grove, Bikos.
Strange or not, Sojay and I will kill anything that threatens the Remnant. Anything.
The Swallowed Grove, eh? Looks like I'll be adding a few scars to my collection. Where Cassandra goes, I go. That's what she pays me for, right? People say it's haunted. Of course, people say lots of places are haunted. Personally, I wouldn't worry about the things you can't see. There's plenty of things you can see that probably want you dead.
Jaxic Orn, daughter and call of the Deadwater tribe, will ride on a boat with a Lukiel Cassandra. I shake my head.
There! The entrance to the Swallowed Grove!
What is that?
Huh? Did you hear something?
What are you two talking about?
I hear voices. Do you not hear them?
I'm sorry, Zukas. No, I hear nothing. Can you describe...
Famia, we haven't the time. If we are this close to the Remnant, others may be as well. Come.